everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into another one of our podcasts. And today we are celebrating Breast Cancer Awareness Month of October. And we kind of merged our Halloween with breast cancer and love these pumpkins. And I'm so fortunate today to have Terri Guerra, one of my dearest friends, one of Bernstein Realty's absolutely best agents, and the chairman of the Nancy Owens Breast Cancer Foundation. So she wears very many hats between friendship and professionalism and philanthropy. So anyway, thank you very much for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
And we dressed all pretty in pink. I'm so excited. Anyway, I thought we would just start by really how we met. We met so many years ago in the early 90s.
Yes.
And Terri was working with one of Houston's top real estate agents, and her name was Nancy Owens. And Nancy Owens was my mentor in the real estate business, and I probably called Nancy in the early 90s. Well, not even in the early 90s, every day, I think.
Every day. I talk to you every day.
I probably called several times a day just to check in, or mainly if I had a question, and I think she was just very instrumental to my being here today, for sure, and taught you so much as well.
I wouldn't be here without her.
Yes.
I wouldn't be here without Nancy.
And she was just one of those people that you met, and if you formed a friendship with her, if you were lucky enough to form a friendship with her,
yes,
then
you were a friend for life.
You were a friend for life.
You were a friend for life.
And you learned so much from her. I know I did, certainly so much. And so Terri is somebody that I've just adored, and her real estate practice at another real estate company was amazing. And I just prayed and begged and I knew one day we would be working together. And so several years ago, Terri joined Bernstein Realty, and it has been a true gift.
Best decision I ever made.
Best decision I ever made was to stay on it, Amy. That is a true sign of perseverance,
yes,
for sure. So just an amazing agent. But even more so than an amazing agent, and we'll get to your real estate practice, is what you've done with the foundation. So Nancy Owens lost her battle on the 7th of September 2001. And her service was 9/11/2001, which is a date I don't think anybody in the world will ever forget. It means something very important to us that this was 9/11, but in our world, we were burying our best friend that day. And we really thought, I remember I was getting my hair done that morning for the service, and all of a sudden my phone was blowing up, and I saw what was happening to the Trade Center and everything. And everyone's lives were shattered that day. We had to go at 1:00 for that service, and I thought there's going to be no one here because nobody is going to be wanting to stay away from their TV or leave their home for that matter. And you could not get a seat at Nancy's service.
Standing room only.
Yes, and you couldn't even get in to the church. It was amazing, and that's how loved she was. And one of Nancy's last wishes, had she beat the disease of breast cancer, was to for us to carry forward and really work hard and raise money to donate to research to try to find a cure, so that others didn't have to go through what she went through. She was 52 when she passed, and that's entirely too young.
Way too young.
She had a lot of living left. And so we do this to honor her, to celebrate her, to remember her, and to honor her wishes of raising money to find a cure for breast cancer. So there was a group of Nancy's friends that got together and started the Nancy Owens Breast Cancer Foundation. And it started out as a small group of her dearest friends, and then we grew the committee, grew it a little bit, and I chaired the committee for the first 18, 19 years, and truly, you get to a point where I was really running out of creativity and ideas, and knew that it was time to take the foundation to the next level. And we all on the committee knew who the perfect person was to take the foundation to the next level. So poor Terri, there was not even a question of a doubt, but we all wanted Terri to be our chairman. And that was, 5 years ago or 4 years ago?
Yeah.
And she has taken this little foundation that I chaired for like 18, 19 years, and she has made it enormous. And she has taken it to a completely new level where the members of the committee are re-energized, and she's bringing on new people to serve on the committee and to work in the foundation, and has taken the foundation into all new areas all over the place. And it is truly amazing. So I'm so proud to say that Terri Guerra is our Nancy Owens Breast Cancer Foundation chairman. I would say for life. I don't think I've told her that yet, but it takes a lot of her time, but it's her passion and her love, and it shows. It doesn't hurt that your favorite color is pink.
It doesn't hurt that my favorite color is pink. And people always ask me, do you wear pink for Nancy Owens? And I said, you know what? That's a perk.
Yes.
But I truly
love pink.
I started wearing pink because my daughter has an aversion to pink, and she would never
I never knew that.
She would never steal my pink outfits or my shoes. So I started wearing pink all the time.
I
and
just learned something new.
Now it's just a bonus.
Now whenever I see anything pink, I think of Terri, and I usually buy it. So anyway, I'm going to turn it over to you to talk about the Nancy Owens Breast Cancer Foundation, because there's not a better person than you to talk about it.
Oh, well, thank you. So one thing that I'm really proud of that we did when with the foundation is we got accredited with the Better Business Bureau. So when people look for charities to donate to, they want to make sure that the charities are legitimate.
Yes.
So you can go onto the Better Business Bureau and find our information there. And we have been accredited with the Better Business Bureau for 4 years now.
Wow.
And so
that's not easy.
It is
to get accredited. When people say that I'm accredited with the Better Business Bureau, they think, I just fill out an application and send it in. But
for a nonprofit, it is not easy, and it took me a year and a half of getting all of the paperwork right, getting everything that they needed. And
I remember you kept saying, I'm working on the better. I'm like, what are you working on? Fill out the application.
Yeah.
And now I realize how much work that was.
It's a process. It's a big process. And so
that's something to be very proud of.
It really is, because that was a labor of love, and I'm glad we did it, and I make sure that we are up to date and we keep all that done. And another thing that we do is that we follow these cancer research projects with the doctors, and I go to the labs.
I think that's the most amazing thing. Let me interrupt there and say that one of the things that we talked about with the foundation is when I chaired it was we would then turn around and donate money, but we didn't know. We worked so hard all year to raise the money, and then poof, it was gone, and we didn't know
where it was going.
We knew where it was going, but we didn't know the good it was doing.
Right.
And so now tell us what the foundation does with the money raised.
Well, now what we do is we follow 3 very specific cancer research projects. They're all different in their own right, and we follow them. I go to the labs, and I talk to the doctors, and I talk to their liaisons, and I have been to Baylor at least 6 times in the past couple of months.
They're so wonderful.
And so the research projects, Methodist is one, and they are working on the nanotechnology. So if you see the commercial where they talk about the little grain of rice and the device that's our project.
That's
so
cool.
proud.
That's so cool. And you're personally, the person that's heading up the project as well, right?
We know the doctors. We have their phone numbers. If I have a question, I can call and talk to the research doctors. And that's big.
That is big.
That is huge. And then with Baylor.
But circle back, tell us just quickly about the nano project, because it's very cool.
It is very cool. So that project, what they do is they implant a device that is smaller than a grain of rice into the tumor, so the medication can go to kill the tumor instead of going and delivering it through your body.
Wow.
And
that's pretty amazing. And they took that project to space.
They took that project to space.
Yes.
And Dr. Grattoni, who heads up the lab for nanotechnology, he was so kind. He called us from the Space Center when it was going up, and he said he had a little surprise for us. But when the research project came back, he had sent a patch. Each time you go up into space, they get a little mission patch. And so he had a mission patch.
Wow.
And he gave each one of the committee a mission patch that actually went up into space.
Oh, that's
I have it on my desk.
very cool.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, how awesome is that?
That project is going to human trials within a year.
Wow.
Yes.
How
it's
exciting.
So close. It is. It gives me chills. It is so amazing. Baylor is working on another one that is near and dear to my heart because with Nancy, she beat breast cancer and it came back.
Yes.
So they are researching on the reoccurrence.
Gotcha. And that's what so many women and men are fearful of, because they say when you have breast cancer and you beat it, you never really are out of the woods, because if it comes back, a lot of times it comes back with a vengeance.
With a vengeance.
Yes.
And they're researching where those cells go and lie dormant, and how to prevent that. So that one is really important to me, because once you beat it,
yes,
that's fantastic, but you want to make sure you beat it for good.
And I guess
100%.
also it reminds us of Nancy, because she did beat it and then it came back with a vengeance.
And Nancy did everything right.
Yes.
She ate right, she exercised, she took all her supplements, she was stress-free, all of those things, and it still came back.
Yes.
So that one,
I love that project. I agree.
It's very important to me. MD Anderson has one on breast cancer prevention, a vaccine. And so they're working on that as well.
Wow.
So each project is really
important. Can you imagine
important.
if you could say, I remember one day when we first started the foundation, somebody said, my goal and my hope, that's what the person said, is that you will think of breast cancer as high blood pressure and that there is a treatment for it. So the vaccine to me is very awesome. Tell us just a little bit about the vaccine.
Well, it's in the early stages of this vaccine for prevention. And, with breast cancer, there's so many different types and things like that. So they're going through all the trials and tribulations with that. But they're making really good progress and really good strides on that.
So that's where our money raised goes to those three projects.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about what, I know we've gone round and around where we did not want our money raised to go to administration. So
it does not. So our money, we have one part-time person and she keeps me on track, but we don't have salaries. I don't make a salary. I always say this is my full-time job. I don't get paid for it. But we make sure that our money goes to the research projects and that it doesn't go to the hospital's administration costs or anything like that. We want it to go 100% to the research projects, and we want our money to stay right here in Houston.
That's so fantastic.
So we make sure, and I verify this every year. It's like, okay, we're in fundraising mode. I want it in writing that this is the way that's going to be, and so I make sure every single year that is still our deal, and we don't pay those administrative costs.
And we learned that the hard way. We learned that when you make a donation, X amount normally goes to the administration of the research project, and we make sure that it doesn't. That I think it's very special that we do that.
Yes.
And we say that the foundation, we have no salaries except for this one gal. We have to have somebody that does some administration,
yes.
which she keeps you straight. But boy, you work like 5 full-time salaried people would. So we are very lucky that you have chosen, I know you're very active in the rodeo as well, and very active in a lot of philanthropy, but Nancy Owens and rodeo is right up there at the very top.
It really is.
But I know that most of the time does go to Nancy Owens. And so I just want to thank you for me personally for taking the ball and running it, for our committee that adores you, and you're the best leader I've ever met, and for the cancer. I mean, it's just you are making it happen, and it's just truly amazing what you've done.
Well, our luncheon, as you know, is coming up in a couple of weeks, October 25th. We've got a new venue, the Omni. It's beautiful.
We don't have to go downtown.
You don't have to go downtown. It is beautiful. When you walk into the room, you're going to be, it's going to be so
I can't wait.
pretty.
And it's so easy to get to the Omni and to park at the Omni.
Yes.
But how many people does the room hold?
So we can hold up to 650.
So we have tickets
with
left?
Very small tables. So we want it to be a really beautiful room. We're close to being sold out, but there's still room. We will make room for you. So there's still tickets. You can still sponsor and everything. So we're really looking forward to our lunch.
Tell us how people, if they're interested in either making a donation or if they're interested in coming to the luncheon, which is
October 25th.
October 25th.
Yes.
And that's a Friday. So it's a great way to start your weekend, give back to something so near and dear. Even if we're lucky enough that we've never experienced cancer ourselves, I don't think there's a person alive that hasn't experienced a loved one or someone close to them that has gone through. It touches everyone's life in some way or another. So you can still come to the luncheon, you can still get tickets, or you could make a donation. So just tell everybody where they can do that.
So go to nancyowens.org. And all the information is right there on our homepage. So you can get your tickets, you can make a donation, find out more information. You can volunteer your time. You don't have to give money if you don't have the money to give. You can volunteer your time. We could always need volunteers for our events.
We always say whether you're giving your time, your talent, or your treasure, we would love to have you.
Okay, so I'm glad I have you here. So somebody asked me when I was doing an interview with the doctors at Baylor, someone asked me, what do you think Nancy would say to you right now, looking down on us?
Well, I think about that actually a lot. And part of me thinks, Nancy, one side of me would be, quit working so hard and enjoy your life. That's one side of Nancy. I think the other side would be just beaming with pride in this big Nancy Owens smile, saying thank you. Thank you for carrying the torch in my memory. Thank you for doing what I was not able to do but wanted to do. And I love you guys. I just know that I get the chills as I say that, but I also think she would be thrilled to know the people that are involved in the foundation. Myself, you, Peggy Koner, people that she's, that she was so fond of, that Mary Piper, people that Nancy knew and loved, and doing all of this in her memory would just be so special to her. So for those that served on the committee prior to this, for those that are serving now, and for those that would serve in the future, I feel she knows what we're doing, and I think that she's extremely proud. What do you think she would say?
Well, I think she would think that we were crazy. I think she would think that we were crazy, but I think she would be so proud. I really think she would be so proud, and that's what keeps me going.
I think she would say, if anybody could pull this together, it would be Terri Guerra. So you go, girl.
Well, that's what keeps me going is her and her spirit. And as I go through, I have a Nancy Owens room in my house, and every event that we get going, I pull out all the past information and go through it, and I see her pictures, and I have photo albums of her. So I think about her all the time. I think about her every day.
I think she would see me, you, Gloria Moorman for certain. I mean, Gloria was her right arm, her left arm, her right brain and left brain, and you were the same. I think she would see all of us working together and all her friends. And I always say she would have that big Nancy Owen smile. And I know that when Gloria came to work here at Bernstein Realty after Nancy passed, I always said that I have a little angel on this shoulder, which is Nancy, and a little angel on this shoulder, which is Gloria. And they keep me going every single day, and I feel that way. So I think she would say, you're right. Y'all are probably crazy, but I'm happy and I love you, and I'm happy you're crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
For sure.
Well, I'm glad that Nancy brought us together.
I am too.
Because without Nancy, we would not be together.
I think of the majority of the people in my life that are very important to me, and at least half of them I met through Nancy. And so I thank her every single day for so many things. But for you, for Gloria, for Peggy, those are the people that, and so many others that I met through Nancy. I've stayed in touch with those people, and it's a sorority of people that just love and adore her and always will.
I agree.
So thank you very much for being here today and for sharing so much everything with us. I love you to pieces. You know that. And I just can't wait for the luncheon. And I'm rare. I said to Terri, are you going to wear this to the luncheon? She said, no, I have something else in pink. So please come to the luncheon and see Terri's full on pink early in the morning.
Yes.
So thank you again for tuning into our podcast. I hope you'll tune into future podcasts. And remember, your home is our expertise.